All right, so lots of ways in which you can get help when it comes to the Mylio application. And it all depends on the style of learning that you have. You know, some people learn by reading. For those, we strongly recommend using our manual, and our manual can be accessed directly from the application. So once you're running the Mylio application, you can go to the help menu, can click this help button, which gives you some guidance on how the UI works. But down here, there's a little icon that says more help options. If you click that, that takes us to our help menu. And notice that there's lots of options here. Quick Start Training is going to open up a web page, and it's going to take you to our Getting Started page, which has a downloadable PDF guide with step-by-step instructions on how you can get started with Mylio. And as you scroll down, you'll see that there's videos that show you those steps with video screen capture of the application. So there's a computer and a mobile version of this quick videos. Great way to get started. It takes you through all the very, very basics of the application. You can also use the manual, which is what I was talking about, by clicking on the how-to guide. Again, when you click on that, it takes you to our manual, manual.mylio.com. This is the labor of love of Angela. She writes and maintains our manual, and she's fantastic at it. The manual is incredibly extensive, but it has a really good search functionality here on the top. So whatever it is that you're looking for, so if you want to learn about new Mylio Drive feature, you can type that, and anything related to Mylio Drive will come up. The first one is probably the one you want, how to add Mylio Drive. You can also use the index part of this, which is on the left side of the screen. And myself, as I'm helping people when they send us requests for support, a lot of the times what we do is we send them the article that had the step-by-step guide already, because it's already explained really well. And for many of these articles, there's not only explanations, but there's screen captures and even videos showing you how to do something. So if you go through the index here and uncollapse different areas, you can see that there's extensive headings for the different parts of what you're trying to do. And they're very self-explanatory. You know, if you're trying to share, go to the share and export. If you're trying to add photos or perhaps add other devices or manage your Mylio account, even here's instructions on how to do so. So great resource. And again, if you're like me, if you learn by reading, this is a great resource, but not everybody learns that way. So for those of you that prefer to watch a video, we not only have the Quick Start Training that I already show you, we have the Mylio Fundamentals course. And when you click on that, that takes you to our community page. And in our community page, you'll see that there's the Mylio Fundamentals video course. This is an extensive video course with over 70 videos, ranging from 2 minutes to 10 minutes each on a lot of different areas of the application. A lot of what we covered today is covered in the Mylio Photos Fundamental Training in even more detail. So I encourage you to watch it. You don't have to sit and watch it from beginning to end. It'll take you about 5 hours if you choose to do it that way. You can go to the specific areas that you want and simply watch that portion. So again, great resource. And while you're in the community page, there's other resources here that can help you as well. All of our coffee breaks and our webinars are recorded and can be found here. You can see them on the left side panel there. There's also a lot of quick tip videos that these are shorter, no longer than 2-minute videos that explain how to do something very, very quick. So you can click on those and you get Angela, Rich, or myself explaining how to do something very quickly. So a lot of video information there. Now, if something is broken and you actually need additional help, you can contact Mylio support again right from the app. And when you do so, there's a lot of benefit. If you click Contact Mylio Support, this form comes up, and there's 2 buttons. When you click Fill Out Web Form, it opens up a web page, and that web page will populate with the account ID associated with your account. That way we know what account to look for. And you can give us a your best guess as to what the problem is, give us a subject and some information. And this becomes a case with our support team that we look at every day and we prioritize. We have team members that are literally all over the world working in different time zones. We don't have a full 24/7 operation, but we do try to provide as much support as possible. And we typically give you an answer or at least an initial response within 24 hours. And we typically resolve your problem within a couple of days, depending on the difficulty of the issue. And there was a question earlier, if we ever connect your computer and help you remotely. We tend not to do that a lot. If you have a big technical issue or you really need a lot of help, we're going to take you through the steps of giving you the information, providing you the right training, looking at the logs, which, by the way, I wanted to mention that when you contact support from the app, contact Mylio support, this button, information to send, is where you can send us information about your devices. And unless you have opted out of it, this happens automatically. We get a basic set of logs. You can also attach an extra file, but that information allows us to diagnose and provide you more detail on what might be causing the trouble. Maybe you have a device that's not syncing and you're not sure why. So we look at the logs, we look at the information for that device, we notice that that device maybe is out of storage, and then we reply with the steps that you can take to solve that problem specifically. If you have a really difficult issue that you need a lot of help with, we will give you the option of scheduling a one-on-one Zoom call with one of our technicians. And during that call, we do have the option of controlling your system remotely over Zoom. But to be honest, we don't do that very often because there's a ton of you and just a few of us. And if we did that all the time, we would never get to all the tickets. But if you need it, we will be there, and we're going to make sure that you get the help you need no matter what. All right. Are there any questions? Oh, yeah. How to turn up verbose logging. Well, Matthew and Dion are typing answers, but that is something that you do on the console. I don't want to open the console. I don't want to scare you guys. If you ever need that, we will give you specific instructions on how to do so. All right. I think that covers how to contact. Oh, wait, no, there's two more ways in which you can contact support. I almost forgot. So if you go to our website, to mylio.com, you'll notice that in the website, there is a little chat, but in the bottom of the page right there, you see this little icon. When you click on that, one of the things you can do is you can ask a question. And if you're doing this during regular business hours, one of our support staff members will answer the question directly. If you are asking the question when we're not staff, when some of us are sleeping, the system will try to find the answer for you. There's a bot, an AI bot, that will try to find the answer for you. But if it can't find the answer, it'll ask for an email address so that we can reply to you when we're back at work during regular business hours. So that's yet another way in which you can get information. And if you want to find community and help each other, we also have two different ways in which you can do that. You can go to forum.mylio.com. That is our support forum. And here is a place for users to help other users. This is a place that a lot of our users will ask a question and other users will provide their experience and their answers. Also, people like Rich, myself, Dion, Angela, other members of the support team, we often hang out there. And when we see a question that we know the answer for, we provide it as well. So this is another place in which you can get answers. And the community site that I showed you before, where the Mylio Fundamentals course is also a great site to share not only your photos, but to ask questions and interact with our staff. All right.
Jason,
what is
you're getting
next,
a lot
Lori?
of compliments. You're getting a lot of compliments for your support team, which is really great to see.
I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
to be honest, our support team, we try really hard and we really do care. And it's not only the support team. One of the reasons why I love working at Mylio is because from the founder all the way down, and you'll get to meet and chat with David, our founder, in a little bit, we actually believe that photos and your media are precious and they represent the memories and the story of your life. And we know how important that is. You put your trust in us to help you organize and protect your memories. And we take that responsibility very, very seriously.
Yeah, I'd like to also mention too, we've got the quick questions in our community. So if you are one of our community members, or even if you just want to go to the community site, we do have a section called, I believe it's quick questions, and we're in there answering questions. They're nice and short, so we can help you there as well.
Somebody's asking about regular business hours. So our business hours, our official business hours, are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. However, we do have support staff that works in different time zones, and they work during their 9 to 5. So what you'll find is that even though our official hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, you'll often get answers to your questions much quicker because we do have staff all over the world. And we do have some staff that works over the weekend, but I do not advertise that we have weekend support because it's very limited. So officially, we'll answer your question. We'll give you a person answering your ticket within 24 hours. For an initial response, and we'll do our best to resolve your problem within 48 hours. Those are our internal goals. Depending on the problem, sometimes it takes a little longer. In most cases, we take care of you right away. There are times where that might be a little bit slower if there's a lot of questions going on, like particularly right after a release, because we're all super busy. But hang tight, we're going to get to you as soon as we can, and we're not ignoring you, I promise.
JC, you mentioned about our webinars, and I just want to say with the coffee breaks that Andrew puts on, those are very interactive, and we're often, getting lots of questions there as well. So I'll put a link in chat where you can go to the coffee breaks, but those are also a really great place to learn more about the different parts of Mylio photos, more in depth, little sections. And she's there to answer questions. JC's there. So that's also a really good resource as well.
Yeah, and just to expand on that a little bit. So the coffee break is quite different from obviously this is a 5 or 6 hour webinar where we're covering as much information as possible about Mylio photos. The coffee breaks are very specific to one subject. And sometimes it's tangentially related to Mylio, but it might not be Mylio centric. Like, there have been webinars where Angela, who's an amazing photo editor, is using third-party applications like Luminar Neo or Photoshop to show you different techniques on how to use something and then bring that work back into Mylio. So a lot of it depends on what we are getting demand for and what people need. So they're really good. If you go and look at the list of all the pre-recorded coffee breaks, there's something for just about everyone. And what's great is that when you're in a coffee break, we're all on camera, we can all see each other, and you can ask questions live at the end of the session. So
yeah, that's great. So I just posted that link to the coffee breaks. You'll be able to see the upcoming events. So please join us for one of those, and also past coffee breaks. And then our Getting Started webinars is more for beginners, kind of walk you through the process of installation, talk about some of the features of Mylio photos, and get you excited to use the program. So that's also a good resource. Okay, we're just waiting for our CEO, David, to join us here. So I know he was on another call. Maybe in the meantime, we can.
In the meantime, there's some questions here that somebody's asking. They're saying they receive a 50% off from Save Your Photos, and they're asking specifically about photo managers and if there are any photo managers that specialize in Mylio. And the answer is yes. We work closely with the photo managers organization, and we are offering them a certification program. A number of them have already gone through it and become certified, and there's more and more of them that are signing up and learning how to use Mylio every day. So we are working closely with them, and in the future, we hope to have more offerings where you can go to a dedicated photo manager in your geographic area. It's something that it's in process, but keep an eye out. All
Any other
right.
questions maybe you could take while we're waiting?
Yeah,
here?
this is a great chance to ask your
Yeah.
questions while we wait for David.
I see a lot of compliments in the chat. So that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
You really should check out the Mylio Fundamentals course. You know, and I'm not saying this just because I was part of it, but it's a really, really good course. I went through the entire, I believe it's 76 videos as I was QCing all the work that the editor did. And I learned some things, even though I was one of the people in the studio recording. You know, both Angela and Rich were also presenters, and they were presenting areas that maybe I don't spend as much time doing, like the family sharing stuff. And I was like, oh, I didn't know Mylio could do that. I thought I knew everything about Mylio, but really Dion is the only person that knows everything about Mylio.
True story. If we could just jump back to the coffee breaks for just a second. If you are in our community at community.mylio.com and you have an idea for a coffee break you'd like to see us present, please feel free to reach out to me, send me a direct message, and I will add that to our queue and look into it. It can be something like JC said, Mylio adjacent, something photo related or family history related. As long as there's some sort of loose tie into Mylio, we're happy to try and cover it as best we can. And we love to even bring in people for guest webinars. So if there's somebody that you've worked with or talked to that you'd love to see us work with and present with, let us know, send us a note, and we will do our best to make that happen. All right.
Okay. David will be logging in here in just a
We're
moment.
still waiting for David.
Yep, but I got word that
Yeah.
he is logging in, so.
Excellent.
So as David works through the Zoom process, Jason has a question. Are there any recommended process for upgrading to version 24? Well, I'm going to ask Angela or Lori to post the sections of the manual that show you how to keep your devices up to date. But my recommendation is that whenever possible, you update all of your devices. Version 24 is backwards compatible with previous versions, but if you want to enjoy all the features that the new version has to offer, you can only do that when you update the software. And it does tend to work better when you update it all, but you don't have to do them all at once. I have a couple of devices that are still back home that I'm not going to get to update till I get back. I think earlier in the presentation, you saw that my Surface tablet was syncing photos that I added here, and that is still running the previous version because I left that one behind. There was only so many computers I could carry with me to Florida.